Hello, everybody. My name is Lindsay. Welcome to my quarter past arts and crafts journal, centering mostly around fluffy stuff. I am a dabbler in many things, but I mostly focus on wool. That's kind of my shtick. So I haven't sat down in front of the camera for quite some time, so you have to pardon my awkwardness. That is my usual state of being, and on camera it just shows up even more. Anyway, we'll try and not have too much awkwardness in this little blip. I'm just very spur of the moment turning on the camera. It's really all that I've got in me for camera usage is spur of the moment, spontaneous, unprepared sort of stuff. I am more of a non-digital human, I think. I found it to be quite the struggle to really get into a natural sort of feeling with using this sort of technology. I can't really fully explain my feelings about why I feel unnerved by it to an extent. But my mind has really been changed a bit this year when it comes to social media and using computers and phones a bit more. I've been a skeptic, I guess would be the right word for it when it comes to social media and computers and the effect that it's having on us physically and emotionally, and suspicious, I think, of whether or not those effects are all good or not. So I think it's just kind of important to evaluate that in your own life. But this year, as I've moved into a line of work where there's a lot less social interaction than there was in my previous jobs, because I worked in retail and in serving a lot in the past, I have very much appreciated my social media family and the people that have been taking the time to actually connect with me and write little messages to me. You know, it's more than just saying, oh, it's pretty wool, right? It's people who are, you can tell, speaking from the heart, and it's been affecting me. And it's been an overall, I think, positive experience, actually. I haven't had anything come about from this that has left me with a sour taste in my mouth or anything. It's just been important to me that I remember to step away from it and get more in touch with my physical reality. And I think that's always been my hesitation with the social media, is just I feel like it has such a potential to draw our focus that I want to guard and protect my focus and make sure that it's not getting too sucked in to the fun. But that's hard sometimes. I want to be a person who tries to bring fun and goodness to my present moment and to my current physical surroundings. And it can be quite easy to tune out, as we all know. But yeah, I think if I didn't have you guys this year, this would have been much, much harder on me. So thank you. I feel you and I appreciate you. And I am glad that we have this ability and this technology. And I'm getting a little more used to it now and to using it now. So it's been fun. So I am probably going to keep things super short because I have a lot to do before I go back to work. A lot of things I want to get done. So without further ado, I'm sitting on my couch with a bunch of fluff. There's much more fluff than this tucked away safely, but I had a few things I could just quickly grab to show you, just kind of give you a feel for what I've been working on. I've been working on so much, so if I tried to show you it all, it would take me a very long time, and I get burnt out in front of the camera like uber fast. Maybe I'll develop a little more resilience later into the year, but I don't know what it is. I can't tolerate very long in front of these things. I don't know why, but I've been carting up a storm. I have been basically taking every bit of fiber I own and figuring out how to blend it together, because I have been making these bat spun yarns. I haven't made a whole lot of them yet. I'm still very new to this, but I am in love with them. I don't know why I haven't been spinning bats before this. I've been spinning for 9 years now, and so I've primarily spun roving and combed top, but not very many bats. I think only 1 or 2 before this, and now it's all I want to spin, because I love how it creates these heathered tweedy yarns. I'm not super into striping stuff. I've realized this, and with hand spun, that is a tendency of what can happen just because of the dyeing method that is used and the way you spin things. I like things muddled up. I like when things are really mixed together and there's a more solid appearance to the color of the fabric, and then when you look up close to it, that's when you start to see the colors poking through. And so the term for that is dyed in the wool, I think. It's like, maybe there's a different explanation for it, but it's where you have all the dyed fiber and then you card it together before it's spun, as opposed to dyeing it in the fiber then spinning it. Does not make any sense. Anyway, they dye it, card it up, so the fibers and the colors are all mixed, then you spin it. That's dyed in the wool, versus like taking a solid bit of roving and spinning it straight from here. I just find that you get this really mottled, really deeply blended depth of color from doing it this way. And so I've been taking a lot of, let me just show you an example, of natural fibers, so undyed fiber, and mixing it with dyed stuff. Now this is getting a bit blown out, so I'm just going to reduce my exposure just a bit so you can get like a real feel for what it actually looks like. That's much more true to life. So this one is a mixture of dark browns. Let me just turn that back up here. Dark browns and light grays, creams, and then I've thrown a lot of turquoisey colors in here. And so I'm putting many light layers on top of each other, because I want you to be able to spin it and get this heathered yarn that doesn't have these big chunks of different color. I want it to kind of all blend together. And I've been taking primarily, like undyed wools, trying to mix in long wool breeds with finer fleeces and really soft downy stuff like alpaca and camel and yak and silk, because I love the durability factor of the longer staple wools. They tend to not pill as much. They tend to be a bit stronger than the shorter staple ones. So Romney is an example of a long wool breed. And then you have Merino, which is a shorter, finer fleece as a common one, but there's other ones too, other finer fleeces. And I also want to just quickly note that those long wool breeds that are typically known for being on the toothier side, depending on which flock you're getting them from, they can feel a whole lot different. It can change from sheep to sheep, basically. So I have been trying to take all of these attributes of these different breeds and bring them all together, because I want a long-lasting yarn that isn't super scratchy, that has softness and is very cuddly, but also maybe not so pilly and all these things, right? So that's what I've been trying to do. And I've been super obsessed with carding. Just to see how they come out is like, it's like you're getting a finished object right there. It takes me about an hour to make each of these, and this is probably a bit over an hour because this is over 100 grams. But it's so worth it. in the end. I really want to show you one of the yarns that I'd spun from this, but it is packed away. And so because it's going off to a new home, I hope I have some video in here of it that I can just include for you. But here is some of it. This one is a very much more on the neutral side. There's not a lot of color in this one. You can see it's got like a little bit, come on, focus, a little bit of orange. You can just kind of see it right on the side there of some red pea silk that I put in there. But I was trying to make the perfect warm grayish brown and use a lot of kid mohair and peduncle silk. I was able to get some of this kid mohair peduncle silk, I love saying that word, from Hilltop Cloud. I've been loving her fiber from afar for many years. Katie does beautiful, different, very different, unique blends, and her colors are wonderful. And I've just never been able to get one until recently, thanks to the sale of some of the kits that I put out this year. And so I put a lot of that in here. And I'm gonna keep this one for myself and make myself a nice mohair shawl. Well, there's a lot of fiber in here, not just mohair, but yeah. What else is there to say? Probably not a whole lot now at this point. So I hope I have a little bit of extra footage. I'm gonna do probably just bats for sale here and there randomly. This is not my job. I don't plan on it being my job. I want to stick to doing this for fun, doing it when I feel like doing it. I just like it better this way, not thinking about it in a professional sense. However, that's made certain things a bit more of a struggle because I don't have, like a business plan, or I don't have kind of hard lines on how to price things and stuff like that, because I'm looking to use my stash. I'm looking to see it put to good use, and I just want to craft beautiful things. Yeah, and I love the line of work that I'm in. Being a caregiver is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. But I never want to stop working with wool either. So this is kind of like I card more than I can spin myself. So it's nice to see it out there in the world and in other people's hands. And yeah, it's a time intensive thing, but I just look at it as a part of my hobby. So all the packaging and all the interaction with people online, it's another hobby, really. Okay. So that's enough for me for today. I will see you around whenever that is again. And I just want to thank you. You guys really have seen me through this year in more ways than you know. So yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.